What up, y'all? It's Malik. So Rain Standards the brand. Let's get into it, man. Just woke up straight to work, man. No missing. Straight to work. Let's get into it, man. Um, what was I gonna say, guys? Being anchored internally in the God of Israel, bro. I feel like not I feel like, but I see there's a lot of people in the kingdom, right? Who say they anchored, right? Who say they anchored in the God of Israel, but they really not anchored, bro. You know, they're really not anchored internally in the Lord God of Israel, bro. Seriously, they not they not anchored internally in the God of Israel, bro. And there's a lot of people walking around in the kingdom like that. You know, they haven't gone through anything or they haven't gone through something crazy, so they might think they anchored until God sends the trial their way, and they realize they not anchored. They not anchored completely. When storms and when the storms and hurricanes come their way, and their boats are being rocked back and forth, a lot of them lose anchor into the ocean floor. You feel me? A lot of people in the walk with God lose that anchor in the anchor floor. You feel me? When the storms or the hurricanes come and shake their boats and shake them so much that they lose their spot or they lose their anchor in the floor, right? The storms rock their boat so hard that they just run and go back to the lands, which is the world. You feel me? So there's a lot of people in the kingdom, and I want to say they're not really anchored in the Lord God of Israel. You feel me? There's a lot of people in the kingdom not really anchored. And you might be one of them watching this. You haven't gone through anything yet. Satan didn't attack you pretty much yet. You haven't gone through any real trials and real storms and nightmares yet. So it's like, check this out. How can you know if you're really anchored? How can you know you're really anchored internally in the Lord God of Israel if you haven't gone through any real nightmares or any real storms or hurricanes that would rock your boat? If you haven't gone through any of that, how can you say you really anchored? You feel me? How can you say your anchor is strong when the storm comes, it might be weak and break apart from the ground? You feel me? You feel me? Like like I said, there's a lot of people like that. How can you say your anchor is strong if you haven't been through real storms and real hurricanes that just literally rock the boat so hard, tossing you to and fro, like back and forth, so hard that one minute you're on the side, next minute, like, and you're still anchored, You feel me? How can you say you're really anchored if you haven't gone through any real hurricanes and storms of the sea? How can you say you're really anchored internally, you know? And there's a lot of people like that who are not anchored internally in their faith, or they're not anchored internally in the truth of God. You might say that, but when the storms come, it's rocking your world so much. It's rocking your boat so much. You're just like, man, I'm going back to the lands. I'm going back to the lands. This is tough. I'm going back to the lands. This is hard. You know? This is hard. This is difficult. This is a nightmare. I'm going back to the lands. Or you will have that follower of God that will say, "Oh, I'm going back to church." Mm. There's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people like that in the walk with God where they really follow God until they see how hard it is, and they go right back to church, man. Go sit into the church, learning nothing, man. Now, I'm not saying all of the churches are like that, but majority of the churches, you go to church learning nothing, bro. A lot of people are not spiritually anchored in God, right? In the God of Israel, to the point where the storms of this life will rock your boat so much, you be like, yo, I'm going back to church. And church is like the safe haven of, I don't want to go higher in my walk with God. That's bad. That's bad because you got to understand there's a lot of people in church who are not spiritually anchored in the Lord God of Israel. So they go to church because they scared to go higher, bro. They scared to go higher, bro. But real followers of God, we in the world, man. Not in the world as like go out and be of the world. No, no, no. I'm saying we not in the churches. We really following God. That's what I mean. We really following God. We really going through the trials, tests, and nightmares, and storms and hurricanes that rock our boat, but we still spiritually internal. We still spiritually internally anchored in the Lord God of Israel, man. And I pray, right, that y'all followers of God get really anchored spiritually and internally in the Lord God of Israel, bro. So when the storms, when them attacks, when them nightmares, when them hurricanes come about, you strong as hell. You strong as hell. You feel me? You strong as hell. You anchored. Nothing is moving you. Nothing is. You might be swayed by the storms, but your anchor is still anchoring. You feel me? Like when them storms come, you like, let's go through it. When them nightmares come, you be like, you think I'm scared of a nightmare? Let's go through it, man. And you still spiritually anchored. If y'all see anything in my nose, still dealing with the allergy of cats and dogs. I got allergies. Not allergies. What am I saying? Allergic to cats and dogs. Yeah. But anywho, being anchored spiritually and internally in the Lord God of Israel is a must. Because when you're going through all of this stuff and you're still spiritually anchored, oh yeah, you strong. You strong, man. And let me bring up myself real quick, right? In my walk with God, throughout 12 to 13 years of my walk with God, I've been through a lot of tests. I've been through a lot of trials. I've been through a lot of nightmares. I've been through a lot of hurricanes. I've been through a lot of storms, you know, that rocked and swayed my boat left and right, so hard and so violently, you know. But I'm still spiritually anchored after 12 to 13 years in the Lord God of Israel. I'm still spiritually anchored. I've gone through surgeries. I've gone through attacks. I've gone through nightmares. I've gone through damn so much storms, bro. I've gone through so much storms, bro. That made me so strong. That made me so wise. That made me so durable. You feel me? That made me so full of strength, you know? And that's what the storms and the nightmares and all that will do. If you stay spiritually anchored, it will really bring you to the next level of just walking with God, man. Once you're spiritually anchored and nothing is swaying you, not even the kingdom of darkness, bro. You strong. You strong. Cause you gotta understand, when a lot of people get attacked by the enemy and they get attacked by the nightmares and the storms of this life, a lot of them crack and fold, and they boats crack and fold, and they go back to into the lands, bro. They go back into the world, man. A lot of people's boats crack and fold. A lot of people's boats get damaged in the storms. A lot of people's boats get cracked, folded. Uh, it just becomes like unlivable. Well, they think it's unlivable, but it becomes so cracked, so finished that they don't fix it. They just go back into the world, man, and they never return to the boat, which is their spiritual walk with God. You know, when, cause it's, bro. When people go through stuff, man, in the kingdom, and they not spiritually anchored, oh yeah, they going back into the world. Just give it time. They going back into the world, bro. When somebody goes through real attacks from the enemy, real nightmares, real hurricanes, real storms, and they both get tossed to and fro so violently, and it gets cracked. Oh yeah, oh yeah, they going back into the world. They might go back into the world if they not anchored right. If they not anchored and grasping and holding on to God, if they not holding on and their anchor is not placed into the ground of the ocean floor, right? Oh yeah, and it's not anchored right. Oh yeah, yeah, they going back into the world, man. Just give it some time, man. You know, just give it some time, man. A lot of people a lot of people ain't strong for this walk with God, bro. A lot of people ain't strong. So if you strong, get strong, stay strong, man. Because when them storms and them nightmares come, it's gonna take for you to be spiritually, internally anchored in the Lord God of Israel. Because when you're anchored and going through all of this stuff, and you emerge victorious, you blessed, bro. Because you anchored. You anchored in the Lord God of Israel. You holding on to the Lord God of Israel. You literally are holding on to the Lord God of Israel with all your might. And nothing in this world could sway that boat or that anchor from loosening its grip. You feel me? You feel me? Don't let the kingdom of darkness scare you into loosening your grip from the anchor floor that's in the floor. You feel me? Don't let the kingdom of darkness scare you into loosening your grips. Don't let don't let this kingdom of darkness rip your anchor out the ocean floor. You feel me? Don't let them attacks stop you from being anchored in the Lord God of Israel. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you, bro. Don't let that anchor being loosening from the ocean floor stop you, bro. Don't let that stop you. Be anchored. Don't let them attacks from all types of people stop you. Don't let them attacks from the delusional family members and sometimes parents stop you. Don't let none of that stop you. Don't let none of that stop you. You are strong, man. You are strong, sis. Don't let the kingdom of darkness stop you from being anchored internally in the Lord God of Israel, bro. Don't let none of that stop you. Because if you do, you think the kingdom of darkness will let up on you because you're about to be ripped out of the ocean floor. Nah, they gonna go hard until you're completely destroyed. Cause you gotta understand, the kingdom of darkness comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So you think they will let up when they see your anchor about to be ripped out the ocean floor? No, they gonna do it until that boat is completely destroyed by the storms, bro. So if you're spiritually anchored internally in the Lord God of Israel, stay that. And when them storms come, you better hold on. When them nightmares come, you better hold on. When the kingdom of darkness come, you better hold on. When them trials, tests, and storms from God comes to test you, you better hold on. You better be anchored. You better be so fastened and so anchored into the ocean floor. For real, bro. For real, man. Don't let this evil world, not don't even let this evil world stop you. Don't let this evil world stop you. Don't let this evil world loosening your grips from the ocean floor. Don't let this world take away your anchor from the anchor floor. Don't let this world sway you from staying on the boat. Don't let this world sway you into not following God. Don't let this world sway you into not being fastened into the into the ocean floor with your anchor. Don't let this world trick you out your spot. You feel me? Don't even let haters. Don't even let haters rip your anchor out the ocean floor, bro. Cause they will. They agents of the enemy. Haters, man. Haters are the biggest motivators, but if you let them, they will definitely take you out from your spot, you know? But um yeah, man, if you're spiritually anchored in the Lord God of Israel internally, stay that, man. And when them storms come and them hurricanes and nightmares come, stay that. You know? My advice to y'all is keep obeying the Lord God of Israel to your best ability. Keep doing his will. Keep building a relationship with him. And keep going. Because once you keep obeying God and you're listening, you're trying your best to listen and obey him, right? Your boat upgrades. That's deep. Your boat upgrades because it's like God protects you more. God, you know, stuff like that, man. But if you're, I pray that y'all get your anchored. Are y'all anchored spiritually and internally in the Lord God of Israel? Are y'all anchored, man? That's my question to you. That's my question to y'all is: are y'all anchored? Because a lot of people say they anchored, but when them storms, them nightmares, and them hurricanes come, boy, whoo, a lot of people, it shows a lot of people not really being anchored, bro. I see a lot of people who come into the kingdom and they be having all this fire, but a decade and some change down the line, they nowhere to be seen, bro. That's because they wasn't anchored. It was the illusion of being anchored. A lot of people have the illusion of being anchored in the Lord God of Israel internally. A lot of people ain't anchored. They have the illusion of being anchored. They think they anchored until they see all these attacks, all these trials, tests, nightmares, hurricanes, storms that attack their boat so hard, you never see them again. They just go back to the world. They just go back to the land. So I pray that y'all be spiritually, internally anchored in the Lord God of Israel, man. Through these storms, through these nightmares, through these hurricanes. I pray that y'all be anchored. You want to be anchored. You want to be so anchored to the ground that nothing in this world moves you out your spot. Nothing in this world moves you from a relationship with God. None of this world moves you from a walk with God. None of this world moves you from accomplishing God's will for your life. Nothing in this world moves you from accomplishing God's will for your life. Not even the kingdom of darkness moves you. So I pray that y'all be anchored spiritually, internally in the Lord God of Israel, man. It's so important. It's so important, man. So important. It's so important, man. To be anchored. So important, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Man. Once you're anchored, it's hard for the enemy to really. Of course, the real storms, the hurricanes, the nightmares rock your boat. But once you're just spiritually, internally so anchored in God, nothing moves you. Nothing moves you, man. And that's a beautiful thing when nothing, not even the kingdom of darkness moves you out your spot. Nothing in the kingdom of darkness moves you from really accomplishing God's will and doing his what he called you to do down here. Nothing moves you, man. You're just you're just focused on what God is calling you to do. You're just anchored. You're anchored. Not even people that will come into your life saying God is not real, God is not real. Not even them could sway you from being anchored. Because there's a lot of atheists out there that would try to convince you, oh, God is not real, you tripping. All right, but still be anchored. Still be anchored spiritually, internally in God, man. Because them trials, tests, and nightmares and storms and hurricanes will come to try to rock your boat so violently that your anchor just breaks off, man. And I pray it don't, you know, be anchored in the Lord God of Israel. Be anchored. Don't let nothing break that anchor. Be strong. Be strong, man. And I pray that y'all anchor is so fastened to the ocean floor that Nothing in this world moves you from accomplishing God's will, man. Seriously, or building a relationship with Him. So I pray that y'all get your. I pray that y'all get your anchor. How do you even put this? I'm trying to put it into words. I pray that you really anchor internally in the Lord God of Israel. Seriously, and stop having this illusion of being anchored, and really be anchored in the Lord God of Israel. So when everything around you is in chaos, you in peace because you anchored. You anchored in the Lord God of Israel. So deep that nothing literally in this world moves you at all. Not the storms, not the hurricanes, not the nightmares, not even Satan's kingdom moves you and scares you. Don't let Satan scare you from not being anchored. Be anchored. Be anchored. Be anchored internally, spiritually, in the Lord God of Israel, man. But this is Malik. Don't let Satan trick you out your spot. Don't let him trick you from being anchored. Be anchored, bro. Be anchored in the Lord God of Israel, spiritually and internally. But it's Malik. So Rain stands the brand, man. Y'all check out my website. I got short stories on there. The poetic album called Isolated Icon on there. I got spiritual art. I got so many audio messages. Come on, man. We cooking, man. But it's Malik. So Rain stands the brand, man. Y'all be cool.